Welcome, Adam Kente here from Nevada Corporate Headquarters. Our goal today is to talk about the partnership we have with Results Driven and how our firm can support you, your family, and your business in various things that we do. I'll start with my 30-second commercial. So our firm, NCH, this is now our 36th year in business. We have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, almost 19,000 five-star reviews from Trustpilot, Better Business Bureau, Reach 150, all the online rating services. The backbone of our company is forming corporations and LLCs, but in-house we have a full legal department. We have one of the best CPA firms, so we're used to be in-house and they outgrew that. Now they're a couple miles down the road. It's our CPA firm. We support business owners and investors all over the country. We have a business credit team if you ever want to separate business credit from personal credit. I have a team that does custom business plans. We do the estate planning like trust and wills. We do trademarks, and then also self-directed IRAs and self-directed solo 401ks. So it is all the support services for business owners and investors is what we specialize in. Personally, I've been doing this for coming up on 25 years, makes me feel old. But our entire team, we have I don't think any one of us has been doing this for less than 10 years. So this is what we do all day, every day, and we're here to support you with that. So how can NCH support you in your business? Well, we do the entity formation, and we also do tax planning and strategies. We have our legal services. I'll talk about that in a second. And then we have ongoing support for the life of your business. And that is so important. Over time, things grow and change. Where you're at now and where you're going to be 6 months or even 6 years from now is completely different. So making sure that we're doing things the right way in the beginning and really helping you to avoid costly mistakes. When we talk about the legal side of things and the entity formation, this is really important. And I'm going to share my screen with you here. But what's really important about this is that piercing the corporate veil has become the most heavily litigated issue in corporate law today. It is the goal of every attorney. Sue your LLC, take whatever it has, and sue you personally as the owner of the LLC. And statistically, that corporate veil gets pierced over 50% of the time. This is exclusively with small business when you have 5 shareholders or less. It makes it real easy for lawyers to make alter ego claims. And they say, well, you own the LLC, you control the LLC, you are the LLC. This is nothing more than a sham. And pretty much every state in the country, there's anywhere from 6 to 10 ways of piercing the veil. But ultimately, it's going to be up to a judge to decide whether or not you should be held personally liable. Well, this is why we do Nevada and Wyoming. All the big companies, Microsoft, Walmart, Disney, they're all Delaware. And we're not going to take a lot of time on this today, but big companies are all Delaware. They have the best laws for big companies. And the laws are so good. Those companies pay the state of Delaware millions and millions of dollars a year in renewal fees, which they gladly pay because all the laws protect the shareholders. Well, Nevada, thanks to the mob, they really crafted their laws to protect small business. And even though the mob has officially moved to Wall Street, Nevada kept its laws strong for small business. It's a big revenue generator for Nevada. Well, over the years, Nevada's kept raising its fees. Wyoming has modeled their laws after Nevada. So if you're operating in Nevada, we'll set up a Nevada entity. We get great protection. If you're operating anywhere outside Nevada, we normally recommend Wyoming. But there's a lot of misinformation out there as to why we do that. Some say it's for financial privacy. If you form in Wyoming, they can't find you. I can find anything for anybody. Our technology is amazing. It is truly about the protections. We also have people say, oh, if you incorporate in Nevada, you're not going to have to pay your state income tax. Completely false. Wherever you form your company, doesn't matter if you form this in England. You live in the US, you live in your state, you pay state income taxes appropriately on all the income you make. So it's not for the tax savings. Again, truly for the protections that you get. And the key important piece, we organize under the laws of Wyoming, but we must foreign file or register you to do business in your home state. And we do all this for you when we set it up. But we're effectively sending a piece of paper to your home state that says this is a Wyoming LLC, organized and protected under the laws of Wyoming, and we are doing business in Ohio or Florida or whatever state you're operating in. But that's really important because if you don't register with that state, the state does not recognize your legal entity and you are personally liable for things that may happen. So that's part of what we assist with in setting up and operating things, is making sure we're registering or foreign filing appropriately in whatever state you're doing business. And I know many people are thinking, all right, hang on a second. I have a Wyoming entity and I'm operating in Texas. How is Wyoming law going to protect me in Texas? It's a federal law. It is also echoed in every state law statute as well. It's called the Internal Affairs Doctrine. The laws of the state of incorporation shall govern the internal affairs and liabilities of managers and members of LLCs. So if you get sued in Ohio, well, yeah, we're going in front of an Ohio judge, but the judge has two options. Either he or she can apply Wyoming law to the case, or they might recuse themselves and say, Eesh, we don't want to deal with this Wyoming stuff, and go file the lawsuit in Wyoming. Either way, you get the protections of Wyoming. And the only way they can pierce the veil of a properly formed Wyoming or Nevada entity is if they can prove that you are committing fraud or manifest injustice, which requires the courts go inside your mind to determine your ill intent. And I'm sure that not one of you would ever be committing fraud if you did it. Certainly wouldn't be intentional. You'll have complete protection. Now, from a tax planning standpoint, most CPA firms are transactional. You give them your stuff and they tell you what you owe. Terrible way to operate a business. Whether you own rental properties or you have an active business, any self-employed income that you have, so important that you do tax planning. So part of what we do is not just setting things or preparing and filing a return, but we set things up in the beginning so that you're doing your accounting properly throughout the year. And if you've not been doing this, I want to encourage all of you, start doing just a simple monthly expense report. It does not have to be fancy. Spiral notebook or an Excel spreadsheet, top of the page. January expense report, 4 simple columns: date, dollar amount, who you paid, and a brief description of what it was for. So date, dollar amount, who and what, and always keep your itemized receipts. What you should put on the expense report: administrative office in the home. Don't do a home office. Highly audited is they're heavily abused. Home office and Schedule C are the things we try and avoid. Administrative office in the home. Track your mileage. Get the app Mile IQ. Start tracking miles everywhere you go. You ought to be marketing for your business. Meals. You got to buy a new desk, new computer, new phone, your website. Anything that could be a business expense, put on the expense report. I'd rather you keep track of too much than not enough. It is the CPA's job to tell us if we're being too aggressive. We could always back it out. But it's important for two reasons. One, from a tax standpoint, you want to get money back that you were using for the business. Secondly, no commingling funds from a legal standpoint. I want to make sure we keep that legal existence separate from you and your personal. Again, it's never been ground for piercing the veil up till this point. But things could always change in the future, and it's such an easy task, and it's important for tax savings. So if you've not been doing it, start doing that for that part of it. IRC Section 162, it says that we are authorized to write off any ordinary necessary expense for your business. It needs to be reasonable. So, for example, if you are a day trader and you're just trading stocks, it's really not reasonable to have a whole bunch of mileage on there. Um, so it's industry specific. If you're doing wholesaling, rehabbing, even private money lending, that you're going out to look at properties, mileage is a part of your business. We would expect to see that, absolutely. So just again, reasonable. If you're not sure, track it anyway. Keep those receipts and keep it organized monthly. The IRS has a bunch of unique tax codes. The one big beautiful tax bill, it made permanent the bonus depreciation. When you buy things, you used to have to spread it out over time. You know, $1,000 computer, they spread out over a 5-year period. So you get a little bit, $200 for the next 5 years until the thing is depreciated. Bonus depreciation, we now as business owners get to write off 100% of pretty much every tools, equipment, supplies that you buy. We have to write those things off. The 280A, they have the Augusta rule where you could lease the use of your home to your company. That's again specific things that we would talk about in a consultation, figure out if that's going to work for you. But you can literally lease the use of your home to your business for up to 14 days out of the year. You don't have to claim it as income. An awesome thing, you can do monthly meetings with your contractors or your real estate agents or various people that are on your team. Do that from your house once a month. You could do that up to 14 days out of the year. You don't have to claim that as income. We also do cost seg studies if you're a real estate professional. We don't do them ourselves, but we would recommend doing cost seg studies in certain instances where we can write off a whole bunch of stuff on Airbnb properties or even long-term rentals. If you're a real estate professional, we get that part of it. Those are things we can talk about. And then when you sell properties, we're not a 1031 exchange intermediary, but we do direct you and direct you down the path. So you're doing those 1031 exchanges. You sold one property, you don't want to pay taxes on it. I want to exchange it for another one. That's the 1031 exchange. So on the legal side of things, our in-house legal department, we cover things like doing the estate plan and getting trust and wills established and doing that properly. We do real estate privacy trust. So as you build out your rental portfolio, a lot of people tell you, well, every property needs its own LLC, and have an LLC owned by a Wyoming LLC. It's completely ridiculous to try and set up and operate. So using these real estate privacy trusts, it's like a land trust on steroids. It allows us to separate the liability of each property without having to have a bunch of LLCs. Beautiful way to do a rental portfolio. We do buy, sell, and partnership agreements. And with the buy, sell partnership agreements, it's just you and your spouse, not necessary, but you go into business with someone else. We want to have the proper agreements to protect you and your business partners. We also do joint venture agreements. If you need help with promissory notes, those are all pretty simple stuff. But also contract preparation and review services. So, there may be instances where we need to have a local CPA or a local attorney review a contract or agreement. But when it comes to the legal side of things, there's a lot of things that our in-house team can review for you. And just having a trusted company that you can work with and get help when needed is always good. Told you this would be a brief summary today, but please do schedule an appointment. Use the QR code, schedule an appointment with NCH. We have a whole team of experts that can not only get things set up, but then work with you over time. And you'll find, I think we're the only perfect 5-star rated company with Trustpilot. We have perfect 5-star ratings. So we provide not just the setting it up right, so peace of mind for that, but then working with you along the way, making sure you're operating things properly, protect you and your family and your legacy. That's what we're here to do. So please do schedule an appointment, and myself or one of my team members would look forward to speaking with you and see how we can help. Have a great rest of your day.